Hello YouTube. This video I'm just going to showcase my Laserdisc collection of US NTSC titles. I have a total of 198 Laserdiscs, so let's get started. So the first one is Volcano by Tommy Lee Jones, Assassins, Good Will Hunting, Disney classic Bambi, a B-grade movie called Never Too Young to Die, featuring Vanity and John Stamos, Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Running Man, The Fifth Element, Bruce Willis, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Maximum Risk, Denzel Washington's Courage Under Fire, another Van Damme, Hard Target, Snake Eyes by Nicolas Cage, Van Damme, Sudden Death, another Disney classic, The Little Mermaid, a bit of a obscure one, Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves and Dolph, Stallone's Lockup, The Phantom, Harrison Ford, The Fugitive, Chris Farley, Beverly Hills Ninja, very funny movie. This one's one of my all-time favorite cartoon, animated Batman and Mask of the Phantasm. Damon Wayans' Mo Money. Another parody movie, Hot Shots Part 2. Wesley Snipes' Murder at 1600. Another good favourite one of mine is Bulletproof, Damon Wayans, Adam Sandler. Clint Eastwood's Absolute Power. My Cousin Vinny, very funny comedy. Another childhood favourite, Getting Even with Dad with Macaulay Culkin and Ted Danson. Three Men and a Baby. Loaded Weapon 1, another parody film. Jean-Claude Van Damme's Double Impact, Milk Money, Rambo 1, First Blood, Steven Seagal's Under Siege, Lethal Weapon 2, Money Train, Jackie Chan's Rumble in the Bronx, Stallone's Judge Dredd. I feel this one's much better than the remake. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the dinosaur classic Jurassic Park. This one has the sort of like a flip fold, sort of a extended cover. Lethal Weapon 3, Tomorrow Never Dies, James Bond. I believe the price is $75 originally. It's a lot of money. Jerry Maguire, Aladdin, the King of Thieves. This is not so common. So I think it's a bit of a rare one, this one. Cool Runnings, very funny movie. John Candy. House Guest, Sinbad, very funny movie as well. The Frighteners, another classic. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. One of my all-time favorites, Bad Boys, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Christmas classic, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Van Damme, Dennis Rodman, Double Team, another Macaulay Culkin, Uncle Buck, Bill Cosby, Ghost Dad. We have Wolf, 101 Dalmatians, Cop and a Half. This is also one of my childhood, brings back a lot of nostalgia. Last Action Hero, Schwarzenegger. Another rare title that I have here is the Batman Superman film. This one was released in DVD, video and Laserdisc. I don't think it's out in Blu-ray, but it's another good title. Interview with the Vampire. We now have Titanic. Another nice little set, this one. One of the best films I believe I have is Shawshank Redemption, Romeo and Juliet, LA Confidential, Wesley Snipes' Sugar Hill, Steven Seagal's Fire Down Below. Another good film is The Usual Suspects, A Few Good Men, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore. Marlon Wayans' Senseless, very funny. Schwarzenegger's comedy, one of the two. Junior. Grumpy Old Men. Grumpier Old Men. Eddie Murphy classic, Boomerang. Eddie Murphy's Delirious. Fools Rush In. This one is an old one too. Celtic Pride. The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. Eddie Murphy's Metro. We have House Party here. This one I believe is may have just recently opened it up. Is Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks classic. Coming to America. The Nutty Professor. It's a letterbox edition. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. Harlem Nights. Harrison Ford, Patriot Games. Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, really good movie. James Bond classic, Dr. No. We have Dick Tracy. Apocalypse Now. We have the original Wall Street with Charlie Sheen, Michael Douglas. We have Chain Reaction by Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman. Johnny Depp's Edward Scissorhands. The original First Independence Day with Will Smith. Much better than the remake they made recently, or the second one. Batman Forever. It's a fun sort of Batman film. My favourite Aliens film, Aliens. This one sort of opens up as all some really nice artwork here. True Lies, my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Has a bit of comedy, has a bit of everything, action, a bit of controversial sort of themes, but it's got James Cameron's sort of a history of the film. It's really good. Not yet out on Blu-ray, but yeah, it's one of my all-time favourite Arnie films. Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, Con Air. This is a top film. 48 Hours. Eddie Murphy, one of his first films, I believe. Sean Connery's Hunt for Red October. Sort of classic film, Free Willy. Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Men in Black. Rest in peace, Robin Williams, Jumanji. Jim Carrey's The Mask. The original Santa Claus. We have another Robin Williams film, The Flubber. Rookie of the Year. It's not a common, like a popular film, but I remember watching this when I was much younger. Pretty cool film. Classic, Mrs. Doubtfire. Bean, the ultimate disaster movie. His eyes are just popping. Mary Poppins, one of Disney's classic films. We now have Toy Story. Now this is probably the first film that I ever watched on Laserdisc. Still remember in 1995. We have Roger Rabbit. I think we're going through to the animated titles now. So we have Beauty and the Beast. We have Jungle Book. We have Disney's Sleeping Beauty. We have the Aladdin 1. I think this is Singapore, Hong Kong border film census on Singapore. So this is, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I have Brendan Fraser's George of the Jungle. Watch out for that tree. We have a nice copy of Walt Disney's Fantasia. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I believe these are out on collector's So the box set as well, but I've just got the individual one. We have Lion King, Disney's one of my favorite Disney movies. Willow, another classic from I think 1989. We have Pinocchio. We have the Flintstones movie with Halle Berry. Now this is one of my favorite Christmas sort of comedy films. It's kind of corny, but it's funny nonetheless, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have Peter Pan. We have Pocahontas. We have Cinderella. Now we have Space Jam, 1996 classic with Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. Get ready to jam. We have The Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Rock, Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage. Lethal Weapon, one of my favorite franchises. Now I think we're going through to the action. The original Rocky with Sylvester Stallone. Twister. Mortal Kombat, first one, which was not a bad film. It's kind of corny, and watch it in 2017 or today, and it does look a bit very outdated. But at the time, as a kid, it was a wonderful film. Speed, another good classic. Van Damme's Universal Soldier with Dolph, the one that started it all. We've got Striking Distance, Bruce Willis. Stargate, which in fact I only just watched it recently and didn't realize how good of a film this was, which basically had the TV show spin-off as well. Executive Decision with Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal, one of my favorite movies. Very, very good film I like. Air Force One with Harrison Ford as the president. Long Kiss Goodnight. Arnie's Red Sonja. Clear and Present Danger. One of my favorite film franchises as well. Back to the Future 3, Part 3. Glimmer Man with Steven Seagal and the elder Keenen Ivory Wayans from the Wayans brothers. We have Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze. This one was really, really probably not the best Batman film, but nonetheless it's very fun to watch. It's actually so bad that it's actually good. The Jackal, Signature Collection. We have the Back to the Future Part 1. We have Beverly Hills Cop 3, which is probably the weakest out of the three. The one in Disney World or Disneyland. Beverly Hills Cop, original, funny action comedy. Dante's Peak, Pierce Brosnan, sort of disaster film. This is a widescreen edition of the Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Another sort of similar film I feel is Broken Arrow. Predator, the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger film. You have the second one, Predator 2, which I feel a lot of people are making sort of fun of it, but I actually don't mind watching it. Mel Gibson's Braveheart. Now we have Double Dragon. Now I believe this is a rare Laserdisc title. It's got Robert Patrick in it. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Definitely not as good as the first Mortal Kombat film, but it's fun to watch. The Last Boy Scout, Bruce Willis, David Wayans. Pretty good film, I feel. Very underrated. We now have another Disney, Return of Jafar, Aladdin Part 2. Demolition Man with Stallone and Wesley Snipes. Total Recall, the 1990 Arnold Schwarzenegger release. We have a signature collection of Street Fighter, which is quite rare. Time Cop, another Van Damme film. Showdown Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, and Dolph Lundgren. Also had Tia Carrera. Passenger 57, one of my favorite Wesley Snipes film. Now this one is also one of my rarest one of the rarest I have, is a letterbox release of Super Mario Brothers 1990 film, which everyone sort of forgot about. It has nothing really honestly to do with the video game, but once again, it's a good, fun time pass film if you don't take it too seriously. We've got Scream, Wes Craven's Scream. We have Species. We've got a deluxe widescreen presentation of I Know What You Did Last Summer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. We have The Abyss. It's a special edition set. It has a bit of, I think, a poster. Sorry, not a poster. It's more of a booklet by James Cameron, just outlining the premise of the movie. Well, it is kind of cool. We have Terminator 2 Special Edition, which is a wonderful set. I'm just going to put the phone down while I get this. Oh, sorry. So, yep, this is the artwork. Looks brilliant. Arnie looking pretty badass. The other side is the endoskeleton. So we have the Judgment Day Special Edition. We've got part disc 2. We have disc 1. And we have a bit of a booklet. Favorite Terminator 2 film. Sorry, it's favorite Terminator film. Nothing beats the... Well, number 1 was pretty special, but number 2 was probably one of the best sequels of all time, I feel. That's a pretty cool one that I'll definitely keep. Moving along, we have Sylvester Stallone's Cliffhanger, The Faculty with Usher, teachers at... The students at school find out the teachers are aliens. The Crow, I think Brandon Lee's final film. Scream 2, not as good as the first one, but still a good horror. Apollo 13. 7, pretty good film. Eraser, this is probably what I feel one of the last best Arnold Schwarzenegger films released. Rambo 3. Another disaster film, Stallone, Daylight. Armageddon, it's the end of the world with Bruce Willis. This one here is the Francis Ford Coppola film Dracula from the 90s. This one has, I believe, is a extended sort of pretty nice set. Has really cool artwork. Clint Eastwood's In the Line of Fire, where he's I believe he's a CIA agent trying to protect the president. Really good acting by John Malkovich in this film, top film. From Dusk Till Dawn, one heck of a movie. Starts off, I think it's a Robert Rodriguez, and it sort of turns into like a horror film. Takes a quick turn, sort of midway. The first Mission Impossible, and this is my favorite out of all the ones so far. It's something I think the Brian De Palma, who directed this, said his videography and photography was just brilliant. We have Charlie Sheen's Terminal Velocity, and we're coming to the end. And my last one that I have is GoldenEye 007, which is easily one of my favorite films, James Bond films. Pierce Brosnan was one of the James Bonds that I grew up watching as Bond, and this film I believe is just wonderful. Cool. So I have 198 Laserdisc titles. Most all these are NTSC US. Looking probably had all these for a bit over a year, but I'm slowly starting to expand my collection. Hope you enjoy the video. Bye now.